Here we go, but this is for bones on repeat. Cause you seem to forget how much you are hurting me. Do what's right, you say you will, but then you don't. You just don't. You don't care, cause you don't take me seriously. Was there to repair if you don't want to be? You should know time is up, I'm out, I'm out. So I had put you on the life sentence. You no longer feel my presence. So we thought I would let this stay. But you know me so much better. You're on the life sentence. So now you never feel my presence. So we thought I would let this stay. Thought you knew me so much better. So we thought I would let this stay. Thought you knew me so much better. Yeah. So we thought I would let this stay. Oh, that's right. Words don't mean a thing to me. Sleepless night, your love has left us incomplete. Thinking that your promises will fit so well. No, that's right. So I put you on a lifetime sentence. And you no longer pay my presence. So we thought I would let this stay. Thought you knew me so much better. You're on a lifetime sentence. So now you never feel my presence. So we thought I would let this stay. Thought you knew me so much better. Cause I don't. So we thought I would let this stay. Thought you knew me so much better. So we thought I would let this stay. All the lifetime sentence. And now you never feel my presence. So we thought I would let this stay. Thought you knew me so much better. All the lifetime sentence. Now you never feel my presence. Thought you knew me so much better. Thought you knew me so much better. See me now, why don't you hear me out? Can't you see what we're about? I see you at my door, wanting in, come back for more. I don't want this anymore. Cause baby, we got issues. I'm gonna make a dictate mine. So baby, you got issues. Yeah. Don't you take it out of me. Honey, I think we lost it. It's another day of that. But goodbye, my love. Already found someone that I'm thinking of. And I lose myself again. To someone at the door. So you just have to do without. Here's something you can think about. You played it good, there's no doubt. But you're the one that's missing out. 'Cause baby, we got issues. I wanna make them dictate mine. So baby, you got issues. Yeah. Don't you take it out of me.
Shout out to the CIA. One love, FBI. What's going on? What's going on? What is going on? Oh, snit. We back. We live. We in the phys ed from none other than Hot Atlanta. That's right. Your godfather is upstairs in the studio, broadcasting to you from lovely Bughead, hot spot of Atlanta. Thank you to everybody who's been so patient as I've been doing this move, getting this thing kind of squared away. Like I always say, man, we build the airplane as we're flying it. And hey, man, just goes to show you, God is good, man. I tell you, I did not know Shops at Buckhead even existed 4 months ago. Now, I live there far from it. So, got a lot to cover. A lot of topics that have not been able to be discussed. But one that just came across my desk that I had to get into was this subject with the artist known as Pharrell Williams. You know him from Nerds fame, Neptunes. You know, nobody is unfamiliar with Pharrell. And he is on the cover of the latest Gucci magazine, and the photo shoot and the content is causing quite a stir, a reaction. And as the only person in the manosphere, I guess I've been put in this manosphere thing But understand something. I'm an image consultant. Before I ever knew anything about a manosphere, I was on YouTube with 12,000 subscribers. I run my business. I am a manosphere affiliate. I am down for men becoming the best version of themselves, but you also know that I work with women too. So, but as the one person I think that's eminently qualified to discuss this, I think it's important that I tackle it. First off, I just want to bring it to everybody's attention that when people say image is not that important, image doesn't matter, it's not that big a deal. Oh, you're about to understand why it's a huge deal and why everybody better pay attention to what's going on with image of men today, and your image in particular. If you don't think your image has something to do with your daily life, you're a fool. You're simply a fool. You're being foolish. It has everything to do with your daily life because people don't know you. Nobody knows you. When they see you, they perceive who you are and then they act accordingly. People have asked me as a segue to talk about what happened or what was discussed on the Renaissance Woman's Neutral Zone channel the other night. I'm going to touch base on that a little bit later on. I mean, guys, I've been offline for a couple of weeks, so obviously there's a ton of stuff to get to, so be patient. Moderators in the chat room, I have certain words blocked. If people come in here talking homophobic slurs, the F word, remove the comment and time them out. No homophobic, no pejoratives. You're not gonna get my channel knocked because you got a problem with some stuff that's going on. Let's get the likes up, folks. Let's get the likes up. Let's get the likes up. Let me go ahead and do this. You know, forgive me, guys. I'm a little rusty on the live streaming, so let me go ahead and get into it. Let's do some of the roll call. Do me a favor, in the chat room, let's give the CIA, the FBI, your recognition you so greatly deserve. In the chat room, I need you to put up your city. I need you to put up CIA in your city, FBI in your city. So let's say if you're Donnell, CIA from Newark. Let's get it up. Let's get it up. Let's get it up. I want to see where you're from. I want to see where you're from. I want to see where you're from. Kashmir, what's good? Donnell in the house. Yes, obviously, I will be doing many more things in Hot Atlanta. I've been here 2 weeks. I've had, you guys see me. If you're not following me on Instagram, you're missing out. You want to follow me on Instagram because you see me live every day out and about in the city. That's where the life is. That's where the receipts are. All right, let's get in here. Let's get in here. We got Miami in the house. Cool Chris from St. Louis. Kevin Paris from London. Perry is Chi-Town. We got Amsterdam. We have Sawi, Georgia. We have Tallahassee. We have OKC in the house. Just missed you, fam. Got Kansas City, Las Vegas, PG County, Hot Atlanta, Memphis, Pittsburgh, Long Island, H-Town, St. Louis, Jersey, stand up, Big Neff, Bruford, Georgia, Beantown, H-Town, Hartford, Duluth, Huntsville. Get the likes up, folks. Get the likes up, get the likes up, get the likes up. If you follow me on Patreon, understand I'll be dropping 4 Patreon videos in the next 36 hours. And I have been delayed because I've been trying to run a business from this as I waited for my systems to get here. So we're on skeleton kind of stuff, but we're going to get into it. Let's get into it. Pharrell Williams is a prolific creator, and unless you've been living under a rock, you know who this guy is. From Happy he's a hit maker. He's a hit maker and he's an influential artist. Can't take that away from him. Pharrell is 46 years old and married. But what I need you guys to understand is, especially as it gets in the B community, Black community, oftentimes our musicians and our entertainers and athletes are pushed into the forefront to be the spokespeople for the community. And we got to change that. The business class has to be the face of the community. That's right. The business class, white collar, blue collar, I don't care. The business class, not our entertainers. The business class, which from the business class comes the political class. That's who needs to speak for our community. But what I want to talk about right now is manhood in general. And I'm going to segue into Black men in particular throughout this. But this is what GQ is calling the new masculinity. The editor-in-chief of GQ magazine, the Gentleman's Quarterly, a men's magazine, actually had a quandary on his hands when he was elected when he found out he was going to become editor-in-chief. He was excited until one of his homegirls said, ooh, tough time to be a head of a men's magazine because of the outright war on masculinity today. Let me tell you something. The reason the 80-20 rule is so much in effect, the Petro principle, why 100% of the women want 20% of men, is because that 20% of men, among other things, are masculine. They act like men of previous generations. That's right, whether they're blue collar, white collar, college educated, non-college educated, business owner, entrepreneur, or a worker bee, or a corporate worker. Women like men. Women are drawn to masculinity. Whether you're the roughneck, the rake, or whether you're the roughneck, the pretty boy, or the bad boy. Whether you're the refined gentleman like myself, the rakish gentleman, or the rogue. The three archetypes, refined, rakish, and rogue, pretty boy, bad boy, roughneck. All three of those things all share masculinity. So when we talk about the evolution of masculinity, the new masculinity, honestly, it's a devolving of masculinity. Masculinity, if you want to talk about the new masculinity or masculinity, go back to the TV show Mad Men. And the things that were called toxic today are the things that built the world. And see, this is what I need men to understand. Your very essence is under assault. And the thing is, women spend 73 cents out of every dollar in this country, and women are heavily tuned into media. That's why you have so many female magazines and so few men's magazines. And if you guys, you men do not fucking turn on and plug in and stop being so lackadaisical, so apathetic. So I don't care about your image. You're going to look up and it's going to be too late. If you have any questions of me, you need to put the $ right down there at the bottom is super chat. For tonight, I answer questions in super chat. There are too many people in the stream for me to go back and pick. Super chat, that's what super chat is for. If you got a question, you put it in super chat. If you want to donate to the stream, 3 different ways. We have YouTube super chat. I like it, but I prefer you use this version. It skips the YouTube system and it goes directly to where you want it to go to. And you know what? Now I'm thinking about it. Let me log in here too so we can go ahead and get your recognition to pop up on the screen. Give me a second. I want your recognition to pop up on the screen because shit like that's important. So raise your hands. Okay, and when you make a donation, this is what will happen. When you make a donation, you'll hear this sound. My assistant will read it.
This is a test donation for.
Thank you. My lovely assistant will read your donation. By show of hands, how many people have actually seen the new GQ magazine? Or have you seen it or have you read it? Raise your hand. You've seen it or you read it? Seen it or you read it? Put a 1 in the chat room. You seen it or you read it? Put a 1 in the chat room. Omari has. Ben Israel has. Rome has. We'll see. Okay. All right. For the guys, for the people who've seen it, in one word, one descriptive word, remember, watch tone, one adjective to describe what you saw. One word, how would you characterize it? One word. I'll tell you my one word. No, hey man, watch your word. Watch your cussing. Suspicious, wow, feces, degrading, feminine, compromise, offensive, agenda, strange, emasculating, demasculinization, disgusting. You can't, I'm not, the people give me 2 words, I'm going to, neuter, preposterous, soft, Pharrellian. It is very Pharrellian. Some of them a bitch. Disheartening, expressive. It is expressive. Attack, agenda, castrated, fluffy. Okay, let's just be honest. It's disturbing. That's the word I'll put in there. It's disturbing, and there is an agenda. There is an agenda. There's the agenda out there to put men and women on the same plane, to have this thing called gender fluidity. But see, what I want you guys to understand is this isn't a new concept. This is not a new concept. I want you guys to pay attention to what I'm about to say. Let's get the likes up, man. 244 people watching, only 103 likes. Let's get these likes up, folks. I need you guys to understand something. That some of your favorite musicians, some of your favorite rappers, some of your favorite artists did some of the same shit. Dr. Dre. Oh, let me show you guys something. You guys, a lot of you guys are maybe too young to understand or don't realize, or you certainly weren't around to see what happened in the 80s. But this is not new. Let me show you something. Let me show you something. Let me show you guys something. All you hip hop heads. All you hip hop heads, for you youngsters, I need to show you something. Who is this? Uh-oh. Who's that? Who's that? Who is that? Anybody? Somebody want to tell me who that is? He's one of the hardest men in hip hop. One of the founders of gangster rap. None other than Dr. Dre, Dr. Dre, Dr. Dre, Dr. Dre, Dre. That's right. That's Dr. Dre. running around in a glittery outfit because I'm gonna tell you, a lot of these gangster rapping, hardcore Dickies wearing khaki suit dudes, they was running around LA in whips and zips and glitter and spandex and flowers and feathers and one gloves and all this other stuff. But what was different back at that time? What was different back at that time was masculinity was not under attack. We had shows like The Cosby Show, Family Matters. I mean, you turn on any television program and you saw nuclear families and men and women in a household. This is not new. But the difference is, unlike with Dr. Dre, hold on, let's not get too far because, you know, I know people are always like, always doing this to black men and they trying to, you know, destroy black men. Understand something. This is where we need to understand what we're talking about. It's not just about black men, fellas. It's not just about black men. When we start talking about agendas, it's about men, period. It's about manhood and masculinity. That's what it is. It's trying to define masculinity as fluid. I'm gonna tell you, when I was 14 years old and I saw the first video with this person right here, I was thoroughly confused. I came home and clicked on my MTV video and I was like, oh, she's cute. That's what I thought. Oh, she's cute. Because back in those days, girls dressed like this. And with that voice, that smooth, sultry voice, you did not associate that kind of stuff with dudes. And when I finally started to really hear what was being said, I was disturbed. I was truly disturbed. But you look at that picture and tell me that does not look like a woman. Look like a woman. And at a glance, do you really want to hurt me? Yeah, man. Look like a woman. Man. I need you to understand that this is par for the course. This was par for the course in the 80s. Any day you could come home and on your TV, you could see your favorite musicians. You spin me right round, baby, right round, like a record player, right round, round, round. This was, again, anytime MTV was a direct line into young people's room, into your bedroom. If you were lucky enough to have a TV back then, the grown folks didn't get it. Yep. Right. Yeah. We can keep going. We can keep going. Y'all want to keep going? Oh, yeah. It was all about something called androgyny was huge in the 80s. Androgyny. And here's the thing. I'm going to be real. The dudes that got the most women in the 80s were the dudes that looked the most like chicks. And if you think that it was it wasn't just Dr. Dre, it wasn't just rockers, it was the culture. It was the culture. But even back then, knew there's something was wrong with this shit. We knew something was wrong with this mess. something wasn't quite right about this. Something was a little bit off. Because even back then, as young teenage men, as young teenage boys, we 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 were like, this ain't right. This is disturbing. I mean, I get it. I get it that you a crooner and you singing and the women like it, but I feel a little uncomfortable with the eyes you're making and shit like that. If you were with me now. Yeah, man. Yeah. We were uncomfortable with some of the very songs that was getting women all excited. If you didn't see this video with Alexander O'Neal, look at this. He got lip gloss on, eyeliner, doing shit like this to the camera. That's why I laugh when people like, oh man, Kevin's gay. You out of your goddamn mind if you think I'm any part of it. Man, please, take your bitch. Remember, your city, bitch for bitch, live stream. You damn sure would hate to lose to a dude you call gay, but I'll take your bitch. This is not new. But I want to focus you guys on something. At least back then, athletes and entertainers weren't thrust into the spotlight as the spokespeople for the community. Get the likes up, get the likes up, get the likes up. Because I want you guys to understand something. I'm going to draw some serious parallels to some people. You're not going to like it, but we got to go there. We got to go there. Of all of the people throughout musical history that had the biggest impact on music, icon, androgyny, and women, there is one that stands at the top of the pile. And there he is. There he is. No one beats Prince. No one beats your Royal Purple Highness. Prince Rogers Nelson. That was him. He came along in the 80s, 5'2" man wearing ruffles and feathers and fur and high heels and pink and doing splits. But let me tell you something. Prince and Pharrell share similar spaces, both eclectic, both genius level musicians. Of course, Pharrell is nowhere close to being the super genius Prince is, but you get what I'm saying. But the difference is now, between now and then, is this. Pharrell Williams belongs where Prince belongs in this thing about style and music and influence. But the difference is Prince would never have stepped his foot into the spotlight of GQ or something like that to become the face of new masculinity, because he was too humble and he recognized his impact. And that's to be applauded from the artists back then. Pharrell isn't to be applauded for this. Pharrell, you need to understand the impact you're having on people. See, what would happen if back then Prince was on the cover of Esquire and GQ and had been hailed as the new masculinity? Prince wouldn't have allowed it, because Prince understood that he's a musician and an entertainer. And as a musician and an entertainer, you can do things, wear things, say things that the rank and file man, people cannot do. Now, understand, Pharrell Williams is married. Pharrell has never made, I've never really heard anything that even kind of, I've never heard anyone claim Pharrell to be on the down low or in the closet like they claim with Prince. Pharrell has made some of the best, you know, some of the coolest, suggestive lyrics out there. But that's where the line is drawn. That's where the line is drawn for me. Guys, I need to take a slight break. In a minute, we come back and I get into why this new masculinity is an old trick, but it needs to be addressed in a forthright way. Couple of minutes, we'll be back.
On repeat, cause you seem to forget how much you are hurting me. Do what's right, you say you will, but then you don't. You just don't. You don't care, cause you don't take me seriously. Was meant to repair if you don't want to talk to me. You should know your time is up, I'm out of mind. So I put you on a lifetime sentence, and you no longer feel my presence. So we thought I would let this stay. Thought you knew me so much better. You're on a lifetime sentence, so now you never feel my presence. So we thought I would let this stay. Thought you knew me so much better. So we thought I would let this stay. Thought you knew me so much better. Yeah. So we thought I would let this stay. No, that's right. The words don't mean a thing to me. Sleepless night, your love has left us incomplete. Thinking that your promises will fit so loud. No, that's right. So I put you on a lifetime sentence, and you no longer feel my presence. So we thought I would let this stay. Thought you knew me so much better. You're on a lifetime sentence, so now you never feel my presence. So we thought I would let this stay. Thought you knew me so much better. 'Cause I don't. So we thought I would let this stay. Thought you knew me so much better.
All right, let's get back into it. So it's only you on a lifetime. Let's get back into it. On the cover of Pharrell, and here's the thing, this is art. This is meant to be art, but art with a purpose. You see Pharrell in this yellow comforter looking thing that very much resembles the tuxedo dress that one actor, I don't want to call him an actor, Billy Porter wore to the red carpet. That's what he wore. Billy Porter. Billy Porter attends the 2019 Oscars. Okay? This thing went viral, got a lot of attention. Do we see some similarities here? Anybody? Billy Porter took it halfway. Pharrell went completely. Oh, this was a test run. And everyone came out saying, that people were, oh, this is so great. And this wasn't great. This was a shot to see how far we could go. Now, Billy Porter is homosexual. Pharrell is married. So he took it even further. But let's understand something. Pharrell is an artist, and artists have always been known to be eclectic. Prince, Jimi Hendrix, you could go back through history and find plenty. I'm sorry, we didn't see that, did you? You didn't see what I was talking about. Here we go. That's what I was talking about. You guys didn't see it. My bad. All right, that's Billy Porter in his Oscar dress, tuxedo dress. And then I juxtaposed it with Pharrell. You see how they did that early 2019? People were trying to give him all this love for his tuxedo dress. And I knew there was going to be somebody, and I knew someone was going to take it completely there. You've seen rappers wear little girls' dresses as tops. But this is not expression. This is agenda-based. And the agenda is simply this: to blur the line between male and female, and to put it off as art. Jimi Hendrix, Prince, Pharrell. Now here's the question. What would Jimmy or Prince say to Pharrell? Would they approve? Hell no. So they would have did this. But let's go through here. Understand something. Pharrell also has a brand that he's selling. I could care less about what he's talking about in here, but look at these pictures. The glamorous now of men's makeup. I just showed you the 1980s where men were wearing makeup daily. See, this is why so many guys have a hard time with things like tinted moisturizer, and I mean, even something as simple as washing your face daily. Because guys are afraid it'll go to this, but you'll be the same guys that'll sit back and say, oh my God, you look younger than you did 3 years ago. Well, there's a way to do it and still be masculine. This is not masculine. No man wants to walk out of the house with eyeliner and eyebrows and this and that, but this is what they're pushing. Let's get into Pharrell's new masculinity. Pharrell on evolving masculinity. Masculinity doesn't evolve, and masculinity does not need to evolve. It's perfectly fine where it is. But understand something. This picture right here, Pharrell, what he's actually wearing is jeans and a t-shirt. But it's the cardigan and the necklace from Celine that makes it look suspect. And the way they have him posed. The way they have him posed does more to make this look, quote unquote, suspect. Again, what is he wearing right here? A 60s, a simple white t-shirt from Human Made. A pair of APC jeans, some shoes he designed, and a coat from Raf Simons. That's how they do it. They do it little bit by little bit. But then we go here and put a Prada cardigan on that looks like something either Woodstock or Big Bird would rock. And wearing a Chanel necklace with a custom ring. but all the poses are the same. The bedroom eyes. We'll keep on moving through. Again, what's wrong with this? Sweater, trousers, shoes, nothing. The rainbow color coat, obviously a bit much. But honestly, I see guys walking around Atlanta right now wearing this without the coat. Not so bad. I don't like the color. But guys, understand something. Let's get to the controversial stuff. Now, leather pajamas. Yeah. All right, I've had enough of this. So now this is where we get, this is where we start tipping it over. All right, now you're in a friggin' house coat. Look, one of the biggest things I hear from men, is they're like, Godfather, Kevin, man, look, I really want to improve my image. I want to get better results personally and professionally. But so many guys today are openly rebelling against a more proper image for the simple fear of being labeled gay. That's it. I gotta be honest. Many guys today are simple as saying, I'm not wearing all because I don't want nobody to even think I possibly could be gay. And this is why I say today, it is for men to reclaim masculinity. Pharrell and the musicians should not be the people speaking for us. We should be speaking for us. We should be speaking for us. And the reason I have Suit Saturday was one of the purposes of Suit Saturday, to reclaim masculine image. There's nothing more masculine than a simple, well-cut, dark suit. It is to reclaim masculinity, one man at a time. I'll tell you this, anyone who's followed what I said and have put on a suit on a Saturday can tell you they've been treated like men. They've been given the respect of men off the top without asking. I get the emails constantly of guys saying, I just tried it one Saturday and my entire outlook changed. What do you think if you're sitting next to a guy in a freaking tuxedo dress and you come out dressed in a suit? What do you think is going to happen? Who's going to be treated like the man? And yes, it is time for men to start dressing like men. This is why I talk about Jordans and sneakers so damn much, because that is childish. You don't have to like what I'm saying. But you do not walk around in athletic wear and sneakers and get treated like a man. I don't give a, if you want to argue the point, go over there. The only black men, you have to stop arguing this stupid point. This rebellious nature, you know what it comes down to is a tangential point. We have to start putting standards in our community, putting standards in. Respectability politics. What social class do you belong to? What social class do you want to belong to? Where are you at on the octane scale? Where are you at? Then dress the part. If you call yourself 92 octane college educated man and you're a corporate climber, such and so forth, you better dress the part. That means yes. Because guess what? The only way Pharrell stuff works, it works at the street level and at the baller level. So let me just go ahead and the 85 octane dudes can do this shit. And the 100 octane dudes can do this shit. 87, 92 dudes, that shit don't work in here. That doesn't work here. The middle class. And until guys start to decide enough is enough, and you have to become an army of one yourself, you have to become an agent of change. You have to become a CI agent of change yourself, changing the way manhood and masculinity is viewed at your local level. I will tell you this, that every time I go out, on Saturdays, I see the look in young men's faces and they're like, oh, that's what's up. They don't even know why they like what they see, but they just recognize, oh, he dressed like a man. I say no, ultimate fail, stop, reverse. I really think the majority of people and women being soft because we're living a golden age. If you have a question to ask, put it in super chat. See, I don't understand. This is why when I laugh when I get guys pushing back against wearing a suit. There's nothing that separates men from women like a suit. There's nothing that separates men from boys like a suit. Period. Nothing. That's what it is. You don't think so? Okay, go throw a dress on. Automatically, you put yourself in the woman category. Yes, men need to start wearing suits. Yep. If your life doesn't require you to wear a nice suit from time to time, you need a broader life. I know guys are like, oh man, I'm a blue collar guy. I don't need to, okay. That's why even Obsidian gives me credit. He's like, you know what? You're a business person. You need to look the part. You're a man. You need to look the part. You're not comfortable because your suits are cheap. Go get a nice suit. Oh, the shoes are uncomfortable. Learn how to be a god darn man and learn how to walk in dress shoes. They're not called church shoes. They're dress shoes. They're grown man shoes, honestly. See, I don't care about your comfort. I don't care about how you feel. I honestly don't. What you're going to start seeing on these live streams is I don't care how the majority of people think. My live streams are for the minority of men, the 49% of men who want to be in the top 20 or top 10% of men. The guys who don't care, that you want to be in a hoodie and sweats and Jordans until you're 70 and give the middle finger to the establishment and all that. Knock yourself out. I'm not going to judge you. But that's not here. The guys who want to actually win come over here. The guys who want to get over here and compete. Confident, intelligent, and assertive. That's the first level of CIA. But it's the assertive part. What are you doing about it? But for the guys who want to get competitive, intriguing, and aggressive, you're going to have to get out here and knuckle up. You're going to have to get out here and squat up because I'm going to tell you, in the 2 weeks I've been in Atlanta, I have seen men out here competing. You drive over to the shops at Buckhead or whip through there when guys are getting out there, Bentleys and Range Rovers and Porsches and BMWs. I see beautiful women getting out of the car with men with some resources. So a lot of these low value conversations that dominate, I'm not talking about, shout out to Ron Will. I'm not talking about bottom feeders here. Men or women, I don't care. It's not my responsibility. What do we need with an image consultant for at certain levels? But here's the thing. You walk out of your house every day and you get to determine how you're treated. If you're walking out of your home dressed like anything other than the best representation of you, how you get treated is 100% on you. It's up to you. It's up to you. It's up to you. Now, I will say in Atlanta, I have to get used to people. I got to get used to people noticing me. Segue. The couple of weeks I've been here, I've had some incredible interactions. I've had people who watch my fragrance videos who are, hey man, how you doing? Nice to see you. I'm gonna take a picture with you and my wife and kind of. But I can tell you this, you're not gonna ever catch me out and about. I am this. Anybody who can ever come to the comment section or in the video can say, I ran into that dude. That's who he is. That's who he is on Tuesday. That's who he was on Sunday. That's who he is. Who are you? Was working 80 hours the last few weeks thanks to you. Fractured my knee. I'm not gonna fractured my knee and can only work 40 hours. More time to study, but less money. Well, you didn't. You fractured your. Well.
Was working 80 hours/week the last few months thanks to you. Fractured my knee and can now only work 40. More time to study, classes for less advice.
Less money? Well, thing is, if you're working 80 hours, you should have stacked some to the side. Here's the thing. A fractured knee doesn't stop you being able to do upper body work, boxing, punching. A fractured knee, more time to study, classes, less money. Any advice? Well, I don't know what you were doing before, but a fractured knee is not a death sentence. I got a broken ankle and another bad ankle. I would actually take the time to go over some of the books and stuff that you should have already read and actually sit down and actually knock out your 1, 3, and 5 year plan. Do all the administrative work stuff that you normally couldn't do. When I broke my ankle, was a perfect time for me to actually start thinking about what I wanted to do. Perfect time for me to write, catch up on that kind of stuff. See, when it comes right down to it, gentlemen, let's just talk. When the reason 20%, the T20, the reason the top 20% of men are winning is because, one, the image is on point, they got their mind right, they got their body right, the image on point, their purpose unlocked. You know what makes a man attractive? Purpose. How many of you guys are leading an attractive life? If you're leading an attractive life, put a 10 in the chat room. Not attractive to you, but attractive to women, the kind of woman you say you want, or the kind of people you want to be around. Are you living an attractive life? Are you economically attractive? Are you living an attractive life? Got a lot of guys that throw 10 in there. Well, if you're living an attractive life, you know what? I want to see some results. I want to see some show your work stuff, because that's what your Instagram, as a regular person, your Instagram should show your hobbies. It should show what you're doing. A gentleman, and yes, I call you gentlemen because you are. Gentlemen have social lives. Gentlemen have social calendars. It's the holiday season. How many holiday parties are you invited to? How many did you go to last year? 2018, how many holiday parties did you go to? How many dinner parties did you go to? See, this is what I mean. You got to get out in life and put that 60 hours in. You should, between the hours of 12 midnight and 5 o'clock is when you sleep. The rest of the time, you should be out of the house. Building a life worth living. Brian says, not 100% time my commute wears me out. Quit. Switch jobs. You pick. So I understand why you folks, live so far out. All right. Let's do some, let me do a segue too. All right. I want to show you guys some stuff. I'm going to start a segment on my channel called Luxury Unboxing. Luxury Unboxing. We're going to get into that. But I'm going to show you guys a couple of things, but understand something. Guys, the women are out here. The women are out here living their lives. Every time I go out around here, there are women 3 at a table, 2 at a table, 4 at a table. And I've started to have my Instagram, my camera around, like, where are you guys at? Why are y'all at home? put on some cool pants, put on a nice button up and some boots and get your ass out here. Still in college. I've been doing this stuff since I was in college, man. See, you, if you guys, so many guys, honestly, today, you're soft. You don't even try. If you can't put in 60 plus hours when you're in college, how are you supposed to get out here and win? Setting the goals too low. I mean, let me ask you a question. How many guys can honestly say you have big goals, big aspirations? Because here's the thing, you want big stuff. You want a dime piece. You want her to be feminine, beautiful, cooperative, submissive. You want her to be fine as hell. You want her to be all the things. Guess what? Beauty costs, man. Are you living a life that way? And can you keep it? Even if you could attract it, could you keep it? Is your life attractive? See, what happens is guys who are out here moving around, movers and shakers and hustlers, they have attractive lives. Attractive lives. Hold up. Attractive lives. And people are attracted to men with attractive lives. So, frame game. Got to get your frame game up. Get your frame game to where you can actually have different frames. Remember, I'm going to talk about the 3 F's real quick. See, guys, the way to start with your image is get a well-cut dark suit, a nice black V-neck, turtleneck, some cool, nice raw denim, some nice Chelsea boots, and then focus on the 3 F's, frames, fragrance, and footwear. Frames. I'm gonna do an unboxing on all these, but frames like that. Ooh, love those. What's going on, Roxy? Oh, shout out to
doing the Lord's work.
Shout out to my Burt Reynolds lovers, my frames for the gold. Appreciate it. You want to have some of your frames, man, a nice aviator pair, man. Your frame should start conversations. You realize how many, this little zero right there has got me 3 quality hookups. That little thing right there, 3 quality connections. 3 quality connections.
Big up, Mr. Samuels. Keep up the good work.
Appreciate it, fam.
From Boston.
Appreciate it, fam. How many of you guys watched my video when I did Rolling in Love when the shops at Buckhead? This is going to be compliment monster for the year. Telling you. Got an unboxing coming up on this one right here from Diptyque, Benzoin Bohemian. Go to the local boutique.
Stay clean, brother.
Appreciate it, fam. Go to here's the thing. When you see these Gucci boutiques and things like that, go in, try stuff on. Even if you can't afford it right now, go try it on. Go understand what it feels like to put on stuff that fits. I'm not going to necessarily say quality, but stuff that fits. Oh, this one right here from Louis Vuitton. Yeah, that one right there.
Your light big, brother.
Ombre Normand. Appreciate it, Che Alpha. Lady Killer. But I would say of all of them, this one, get this one if you can. If you can get Gucci Intense Oud. Oh, I think they took it off the market. So dope. And I'm gonna do a little quick unboxing. I'm gonna do the video for, but I want y'all to see this. Oh, so frames, fragrance. You know, I like my wrist game. I think every guy should have a cool watch and a nice bracelet. Frames, fragrance, but you're gonna lose. Oh, my. Oh, my mama. Oh, my mama. Oh, my mama. Oh. Stank on ya. Got that racing stripe and that little gold right there. Stank on ya. Guys, trust me what I'm about to say. All you need is 2 pair of boots. You need a black pair of Chelsea boots, and you need a nice suede pair of boots. That's it. That's it. The average guy, you need 2 boots, a black Chelsea and a suede. Get you a nice suede boot, man, and it opens your wardrobe up. Opens your wardrobe up. Wait till the ones I'm about to go show you guys in a minute. Now, understand, because I do this for a living. I'll go ahead and announce it here. I have some modeling to do while I'm here. So back in the day, I used to actually model, but now I'll be doing more modeling. I'm not going to do it. Here's the thing. I'm never going to do. I have right of first refusal on the stuff that I do. I control how my image is put forth. I'm never going to. If let's say I was ever to appear in a movie or something, you're never going to see me dressed up like a woman. I'm not gonna wear nothing. I'm not gonna put on no dress or nothing. No. You need to understand what your image is and project your masculinity. Refined, rakish, rogue. Refined is pretty boy in the Black community. Rakish is the roughneck in the Black community. And the rogue would be considered the bad boy. No Toms, no Tims. Okay, fam. What would I look like? What do I need Tims for? I mean, really, Tims are utility work boots that got popularized in hip hop. What does a 50-year-old man who corporate professional need with Tims? I mean, I have work boots in there. I have hiking boots. Why do I need Timbs? You see what I'm saying? I'm gonna just go there. Black men, y'all, you set your sights so goddamn low, man. It's like life is the hood or the ghetto. Nobody fucking walk around out here in Timbs.
Work overnight in the medical field and change into scrubs. You have any advice on what to wear OMW to work? I always wear a fragrance and frames.
All right, so if you work overnight in the medical field, you change the scrubs. First off, make sure your scrubs fit well. A lot of my clients who are physicians, they get their scrubs fitted. They get them nipped and tucked because they have their own scrub and they may have their initials in them. Your footwear, get you a nice pair of, just make sure your footwear is nice too. I mean, some people wear tennis shoes, but when you're in scrubs, the thing you want to really have in your wardrobe is a lightweight jacket. I can't go in my closet right now and show you, but a nice lightweight jacket that's always available. Let me show you. Let me see if maybe I can show you something. Hold on.
Big head love your work and glad you're back, Cliff. Question: what are some boot brands, Thursday, Spry, etc. do you recommend in the 200,300 range?
See, a decent jacket, like a nice trucker jacket or something like that, a nice jacket to throw on top of your scrubs just adds a little bit of character. Yeah, let me get to another question. I thrift for suits and Allen Edmonds loafers. Okay, but that'll get you started. But don't stay there, because ultimately you're going to need something that's actually fit for your body. Because Love your work. Glad you're back live. Question: what are some boot brands Thursday, Friday you recommend? Okay, I recommend Paul Evans. Fry. I recommend Fry also, and I recommend McNanny. You can get McNanny at Nordstrom, Rack, or Saks off Fifth for their $200-300 range. There's also a company called From the First. Hold on. Where is that box? I haven't got anywhere. Okay. So, because, all right, Paul Evans. Paul Evans makes some of the best footwear out there for the money. That's a nice Dean Chelsea boot in oxblood. Paul Evans, small batch stuff, high quality. And then this company is called From the First. They actually do a lot of Saint Laurent-like styles. So, yep, this is like a Saint Laurent Wyatt boot. But the Saint Laurent Wyatt boot will cost you about $950, $1,000. These are like $300. See, I try out a lot of stuff to give you guys recommendations, and I don't try to push brands. When I do luxury unboxing, it's gonna be all about the brand. It's luxury unboxing. Even though I thrift, I get them tailored. But I mean, let me talk to you, Michael. Getting them tailored, thrifting is still secondhand. I get it. It's a starting point. But let's say you go thrift and you get a nice suit for $200 and you put $80 in the tailoring it. That's $300. Let's say you do that 3 times. You've got $1,000 in that garment. The first time you actually go decide to get a suit made for you, and you see the difference between a suit that's actually made for you and one that's nipped and tucked for you, you're going to look at those $300 suits, those $200 suits that you got $80 in tailoring in, and they're going to be wastes. Stacey Adams, Aldo. Nope. No. Not for a man over 23 years old. Stacey Adams, okay, look, it is impossible to make a quality pair of men's dress shoes, boots, anything like that for under $150 retail. The materials cost more. Stacey Adams, Florsheim, Aldo, all that stuff, you are getting something that looks like something. But it has cheap leather. It says genuine. It's cheap leather. The soles are glued together. The entire shoe is like Legos. It's just glued together. And they last about 4 to 6 months, maybe. They're not intended to be. This is another thing. When I hear guys talk about Stacey Adams and Aldo, I go and I look and see you got $300 Jordans. Banana Republic, yes. Yeah. Banana Republic is all actually overpriced stuff. I mean, they make some decent summer sweaters.
What do you think about smart watches like Apple and Samsung watches? And what about bracelets for men?
They have their purpose. Connected watches have their purpose, but honestly, man, a watch is more of a status symbol. And go to the channel called Urban Gentry and check out their stuff on watches. Here's the thing. I did this too. half measures and part of the way stuff always costs you more money. You buy cheap, you buy thrice. It is better to sit back. It is better to just wait and buy quality one item than two or three. It's kind of like this. How many people know what Creed Aventus is? Creed Aventus is a fragrance that men love worldwide. There are 11 million clones of Creed Aventus out there. And you'll see people go try all of them. The $30 one, the $40 one, the $50 one, the $80 one, the $10 one. And next thing you know, they didn't spend $700-800 in clone fragrances versus just going to get the damn Creed Aventus. Yes, Florsham. Look, any shoe under $150 retail, the materials cost more. Understand, you can go get a steak at Western Sizzlin', Outback, or Ruth Chris. They all have steak. Do you think the steak is the same? And too many guys, let me be real. Too many guys are raised with mamas who put cheap shoes on them. Your daddy didn't know. Too many guys weren't raised by a father and shown what quality men's clothing looked like. Mama bought our stuff. She gave us Buster Brown and Payless shit and stuff we had to grow into. So we have negative associations and attachments with dress clothes. You think about it, as a little kid, you couldn't wait to get out of them cheap shoes and that cheap suit. And that needs to be replaced. Quality, my dress shoes are more comfortable than my sneakers. Look here, man. Ron will shop at all. I don't care. That don't change what I said. I'm the pro at this. Why would you say that? I'm the pro at image. I'm the pro at this. This is my industry. So here's the thing. What you're basically trying to say is, well, if it's good enough for Ron, okay. Ron would not dispute anything I'm saying. A guy making $40,000 per year is a blue collar worker. Well, Art Forte, I'm gonna be honest, as a blue collar worker, if you're making $40,000 per year, I got to ask you how old you are. Because at $40,000 per year, that means you're roughly what, 26? You're 26 years old if you're making $40,000 a year. You need to be making $1,500 per year you're on the planet. So let's say you're 30 years old. 30 years old, you need to be making a minimum of $45,000 a year to be on that pace, that top 20%. At 40 years old, you need to be making 60. So understand something. I don't accept $40,000 a year for a guy blue collar, because understand something. You can go to On Q's Quick Trip and make $14 an hour part-time. That's an additional 1,000 hours a year. That's additional $14,000. So if you're making $20 an hour as a blue collar worker, 40 hours, you need to go put in another 20. See, I expect you men to work. I don't expect any 40-hour week dudes, because here's what I don't want. Here's what I don't accept. I got to wear cheap this. I got to do this. I'm broke. I can't do this. All right. But then you work in 8 to 5. You need to work 8 to 5, 6 to 10, 2 jobs and get your ass out there. Or if you want to take it easy, because honestly, working 40 hours and saying you don't have enough money and having more month than money and living hand to mouth and not being able to do what you want to do, not eat out, not travel, not buy whatever, cool. You can't complain about nothing. So when a guy comes along and you're going to compete, you got to understand you're competing. Your life, how attractive is your $40,000 a year life compared to a guy who's making 65? How attractive of a life can you live on $40,000 a year compared to a dude that's making 55? That's what I'm saying. Is your life attractive at $40,000? You make $19 an hour. How old are you? Art? How old are you? That's the question. And understand something. I've worked 2 jobs since I was 16 years old. Even with my chemical engineering, I still worked a part-time job. I don't accept men working 40 hours a week. I don't. You need to be working 60 hours a week that you get paid for. 60 hours you're getting paid for, or I can't listen to anything about lack of money. I cannot. 37. Okay, my brother. And I mean, no disrespect, but if you're 37, you should be making closer to $55,000, $56,000 a year. So if I were 37 making $40,000 a year, I would not be content. I would have to go get a second or a third job. I would have to, because I could not live with the fact that I'm just having to I'm one paycheck away. I'm one car payment away. I'm one injury away. I can't, that's too much stress to be living under. I'd rather be tired and have financial cushion than be stressed out and having to, I can't do that, man. Can't do that. Can't do it. You're working 40 hours a week. That's not 60, fam. And 60 is just honestly, man. If I'm just gonna be in a moment of transparency with you, I gave 60 hours as the low end, and understand I get pushback from 60. And here's the thing: you don't have to do it, but understand if you're working 48 hours a week and you're making $40,000 a year, then let me be honest with you. You need self-improvement. You need better skills. Your skills are not up to par. Because if you're working 48 hours a week, that and the average of 50 work weeks, that means you're working 2,400 hours. 2,400 hours, and you make $40,000 a year for 2,400 hours. That means you make $16 an hour at 37 years old. You can make $14 an hour, $14.73 an hour with a high school at 16 years old at a convenience store. So I got to ask the question, from age 18 to, how did you say you were, 37, that 19 years, what have you been doing to increase your marketable skills in the workforce? See, it's not the job market. It's you don't make enough money per hour. And I'm assuming that you have to be a no-skill worker. And if that's the case, the economy's coming for you first with automation, with the retail collapse. What's about to happen right now is going to put a lot of guys out. Y'all better understand what's coming. The days of working one job at a factory and being able to buy a home and wife and kids and college, that shit's 50 years ago. I'm like, what are y'all doing? You can look in your wallet and say, there ain't enough money here. So you don't need to sleep. Get your ass out there and go to work. You got people who come in from other countries who will come in here to get it. They come here to get it because they don't have the natural resources and wealth available that we take for granted here. But instead, we will sit around and complain that we don't make enough money. But then somebody asks, what are your certifications? What are your additional skills? What are you doing? Either you got to make more money per hour. That means you got to increase your skills. And why am I talking about that? This is where the self-improvement conversation comes in. Self-improvement is not about getting women. It's not about going to the gym to bulk up. Self-improvement you are the best thing to invest in. Invest in yourself to get if you're working for somebody, you're exchanging time for money. You need to make the most money for the time you're working for somebody else because you have no stake in their business. Once you stop working for them, the money stops. So when you're working for somebody, you need to make as much money as possible. That means you need to get your skills up to where you're in demand. And this is why so many guys are stuck and get upset with women, because women look to see if a man is is economically attractive and has an attractive life. But that's not just women. That's the way the world looks. And we have choices. Shout out to Alpha Male Strategies. Anybody think that brother's broke now? But 4 years ago, he was broke in Birmingham.
Artificial intelligence is no joke. Get busy, guys.
That brother was broke in Birmingham several years ago. But he bet on himself, and he left Birmingham to go to New York City because that's where the money is. You cannot come over here single, no kids, and broke. I'm going to just get real with you. If you are single, no kids, I do not accept the fact that you are broke. You have no time constraints. Second job, third job, fourth job, fifth job, hustling, go collect cans, go to a day labor center, go cut some yards, go make a lemonade stand. Get the fuck out of here with this bullshit. Go make some money and run up the score in your youth so in your older age you can enjoy life and not have to work until you die, because the rules aren't. I've made a post on my Patreon page, and I'm going to go ahead and read it now because I think it's time. And Art Forte, thank you, my friend, for being honest and transparent. And I'm not talking to Art when anything I just said, I was talking about in general. I think Art's been around long enough. He knows that I'm not referring to him. But I'm gonna be honest, guys. I need you gentlemen successful. Successful. Adjective, accomplishing an aim or a purpose. Men need an aim or a purpose. If you don't have one, you're not successful. You cannot be successful without an aim or a purpose. Top 20, T20. I need you gentlemen to get okay with the fact that I need you gentlemen to get okay with the fact that you are a winner and or have a winning mindset. As a CIA man, I have zero patience for any more of this success shaming. So instead of arguing the point, we are going to show that work. I need you to get okay with working harder than others, working smarter than others. I need you to get okay with working harder than others. I need you to get okay with working smarter than others. I need you to get okay with earning more than others make. I need you to get okay with investing more than others. I need you to get okay with spending better than others, eating better than others, drinking better than others, dressing better than others, smelling better than others, driving better than others, and fucking living better than others. Gentlemen, CIA men will be and are and will remain the winners. And I want you to enjoy every bit of it. You deserve success, and I expect you to wear it proudly. I am tired of the guys who are out here actually putting in the 60, 70, 80 hours a week, improving themselves, getting their certifications, getting their skills up, putting in the work, putting their nose to the grindstone, grinding it out, getting out there on their purpose, getting in the gym, doing the work they got to do, sitting down, dulling their colors to not make anybody else feel bad. Fuck that. You're successful. I want you to wear it proudly. I want you to enjoy every step of the way. I want you to eat the lobster. I want you to drink the wine. I want you to do what it is you do. I don't want you to sit around and act like you got to eat a 2-piece of a biscuit because your cousin them decided they didn't want to go do anything with themselves. If you decided you wanted to go do something with yourself, go buy your big house, your big car, your boat, go get on the plane, go to Vegas for the weekend, get you a fine young piece, do whatever the fuck, win. When we don't do anybody any help by actually lowering ourselves down to make them more comfortable. No, fuck that. I want you to get out there and wear it proudly. Don't shit on them. Don't shame them. But I want you to enjoy yourself and let them say, you know what? If he can do it, so can I. How do you do that? How this dude from Birmingham, where I'm from, go from being this to making $1 million a year on YouTube? How'd that guy go from this to that? How'd that guy go from Oklahoma City to... So all this started with the image of masculinity. That's why the 20% of men out here winning, because the men actually get out here and assert. They go get it. They don't sit around and say, I don't have enough. They go get it. And that's why 100% of women want 20% of the men, because at the end of the day, they're not just intelligent. They didn't just go to school. They just didn't learn a bunch of shit. They're not just confident. They're assertive. They make fucking moves. They move. They fail. They get up. They fail better. They try. And people can see the dudes that try versus the dudes that just talk. So it's called show your work. Show your work is short-term and long-term. Look in your wallet. Look where you drive. Look where you live. That's the results of your work. You want better? Do better. And the first thing you got to do is invest in yourself, because no one's going to believe you until you believe in yourself. And you have to show you believe in yourself by investing in yourself. Alpha Male Strategist carried his ass from Alabama to New York. That was an investment in himself. That was an investment. I could pull, O'Shea went from Sacramento to Poland, knew nobody. Y'all complaining about moving from one city to another. This man left the country to invest in himself. What does that say to the world? They look and say, God damn, you had a dude go from the hood in Sacramento to Poland? And he don't date white women? What? I need you to start keeping score, gentlemen. Winners keep score. You know who doesn't keep score? Losers. We keep score. We keep score. How do we keep score? Money in the bank, investments, property, women. We keep score. That's why a lot of guys don't do shit. You sit in your house because you know you're losing. You know you're not scoring enough points. You're an old school running team in the new passing NFL. And instead of deciding to bring in some new talent, some new players, change up the way you do things, you still want to complain and want to go back to the good old days of Green Bay Packer football and Lambeau Field. Ain't going back. We're not going back. We're not going back. Women aren't going back to Pollyanna homemaker. They're not. Nothing's going back. We're only going forward faster. And your image tells everybody in the world exactly where you are at in the race and how fast and hard you plan on running. And the reality is, the aura you put out to your image is exactly what you get back. If you don't like it, change it by changing you. We go through these super chats and I got to get up out of here. Here's the thing, man. I believe a lot of guys that come to this channel really want better, but you're stuck. And tonight we're going to talk about the incel, how people really don't understand incels. And a lot of guys don't understand how they're stuck. There are a lot of guys who are just stuck and the momentum to get started. Next week, I'll be in Dallas for MIT Dallas. A lot of you guys just need a good push. You know, push the swing. You need to get a push, but no one's going to give you that push for free. You got to pay for it. You got to pay for it. Hey, ABL. Yes, my friend, I moved to Atlanta. Mm-hmm. Yep. I moved to Atlanta. I moved to Atlanta. And the thing is, gentlemen, if you're single with no kids, one of the best things you can do to jumpstart your life is to move. 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 Or you can push yourself. No, King. If they could push themselves, most they would have done it already. That's a scarcity mindset. Most people try to get, broke people try to, I'm going to be honest, broke, poor people try to do it all themselves. Guys with resources, rich and wealthy, they know how to work together. Success is a team sport. Simply that. Money making is a social activity. That's it. First thing I said in MIT Dallas when I was with these young men, life happens out there. I'm gonna use Brother Art. Art Forte is one chance interaction away from going from where he is right now to doubling his money because somebody knows somebody who can put him, somebody can put him in a position to make twice as much as he's making right now if he had the right connection. ABL is in here. Understand something. It's about connections. It's about connections. It's not about your skills. Skills get you in the game. Connections get you the result. The Black Godfather, Netflix. I don't have problems. I have friends. What do I say about power? True power, image and access. What am I doing with MIT? I'm making connections with men, one-to-one and in these groups. And I expect these men to build networks. When I do my women's event, I can tell you the women, they know how to make connections because it's natural to them. But we are going to better start learning how to connect. All right, folks, I appreciate it. I will be talking to you guys a little bit later on. Thank you for your patience. And a big shout out to my patrons. Thank you guys for being patient with this move. You know, I've had to get all my equipment in here and get set up, and I'm still not 100% where I want to be. But I think you're going to enjoy the fruits of everything that's happened here. And a lot of this would not be possible without you guys. You know, I know you guys are cool with it, but I'm going to get on a consistent content schedule on YouTube. I think it makes it better if it's like more of uploads. My live streams are for the guys who want to win, for the men and for the people who want to win. Look, of 100% of people, I think there are 49%, the minority of men who want to be the top 20%. And honestly, if I'm truthful, it's top 10. But I give the 20% because of the Petro principle. The top 20% of this country is the service class. They service the bottom 50% and the top 1%. They're the doctors, the lawyers, the accountants, the dentists, the insurance salespeople, the florist, the plumber, the HVAC technician. Those are the people in the top 20%. They service the top 1% and they provide jobs to the lower 20%. So I'm looking at the top 20 as the job creators, the business class, the people I say need to speak for the Black community instead of the athletes and entertainers. They're in the 1%. They live a different life. And I say, if you're going to be in the top 20%, good, you want to be a winner, but you can't shit on the 80. We don't do that. We don't shit on people who are not like us. We're not elitists like that. But I don't want, see, that's the thing. I want it to be where you can win, but you're not an elitist. Shout out to the CIA, confident, intelligent, assertive. One love to the FBI, feminine, beautiful, inspirational. Peace out. Thank you guys so much. Until the next time, talk at you later.